guys, so in some of my other videos I've already discussed that chords are ambiguous and that lead sheets often contain mistakes. The combination of these two facts result in something called disguised chords. This is where two chords share all the same notes but have a different root note. For example, C6 has the notes C, E, G and A with C as the root note, and the chord A minor 7 has the notes A, C, E and G with A as the root note. So they both share the exact same notes but have different root notes. So one of these can disguise the other in a chord progression. For example, let's take the chord progression C major 7 to D minor 6 to E7 to C6. Now on the surface, this looks like a bit of a weird progression. Some kind of 1, 2, 3 dominant 1 maybe? But I'm sure you won't be surprised to learn, given the title of this video, that some of these chords are disguised. A D minor 6 has all the same notes as a B minor 7 flat 5, and a C6, as we've already seen, has all the same notes as an A minor 7. So removing the disguise of each of our chords, the chord progression is really a C major 7 going to B minor 7 flat 5 to E7 to A minor 7. Which is a 1 in C major followed by a minor 2-5-1 in A minor. And in fact, if you play the original chord progression, it still really sounds more like a 2-5-1 rather than some weird 2-3 dominant 1, or some other non-standard progression. The reason for this has to do with functionality, which I won't get into in this video, but I do have a separate video on functionality if you're interested. So note that a disguised chord is usually just an inversion of the true chord. And note also that disguised chords are very often 6 chords, for the reason we just saw. A 6 chord is really just a 7th chord in the first inversion. As an example, some versions of My Funny Valentine have the progression A flat minor 6, going to B flat 7, going to E flat major 7, in bars 15 through 17. Now again, this may look a little bit strange at first, until you realize that the A flat minor 6 is really just an F minor 7 flat 5, thus creating a minor 2-5 in E flat minor, but in this case resolving to an E flat major, so kind of breaking the listener's expectation there a little bit. In fact, in this same song, in bars 1 through 5, we have the following progression. A C minor triad, going to C minor major 7, going to C minor 7, going to C minor 6, going to A flat major 7. Notice that in this chord progression, the top note of each chord just moves down by a semitone for each chord. Starting on the C, going to the B, B flat, and then the A. Now this is called a line cliche. But notice also that the A flat major 7 chord in the first inversion is a C minor flat 6 chord. And if we play it like this, then we have the top note moving down another semitone to the A flat. So at least in my mind, that actually fits this particular chord progression better. It has smoother voice leading if we play it as if it were a C minor flat 6 chord, because we just continue the pattern of moving the top note down a semitone. But a minor flat 6 chord looks a little bit weird. It's not a particularly common chord, not as common at least as a major 7 chord. So this lead sheet went with an A flat major 7 instead. But when playing this song, think about using that chord in the first inversion as if you were playing a C minor flat 6 chord. for the reason I've told you. In fact, what makes this particular chord progression quite clever and pleasant sounding is that in the first 16 bars, so the first two A sections of this song, you only ever need to change one note by one single step in order to move to the next chord. So this chord progression allows for incredibly smooth voice leading, because for each new chord, 3 notes stay the same while one moves down one step. Cool, so when analyzing chord progressions, keep disguised chords in mind. Try to rearrange the chords to create a simpler, more common or standard chord progressions like 2-5-1s. And listen to it. Play it and listen. If something sounds like a 2-5-1, it's probably a 2-5-1, even if the chord symbols tell you something different. Cool, thanks for watching guys, see ya.